Okay, yeah, this is a show up week. I am not feeling it today. I'm really not. But yeah, let's show the fuck up and try to do something. There are some shortcuts to making folds in clothing and whatnot. And basically you just kind of fill in these little shadowy spaces, and then you do a kind of highlight color in the rest of the spaces. But you have to close it off. Close that off like so. Then we'll clean that bit up. There we go. And there we go. There's that, and there's that, and there's that. And now we want to get something down around here. We want to do a kind of soft airbrush thing. I've been seeing a lot of people say, "Oh, don't use the airbrush to shade," and then they quickly go, "Unless you know what you're doing." I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm messing with the airbrush, trying to get some idea of what I'm doing. There should be a kind of highlight color in here. That's not terrible. Really is kind of what I'm going for with all of my stuff is, can we make this not terrible? That would be nice. Can we just can we make the thing not terrible? One of the things that I noticed today, I was watching a bunch of anime, and I saw that kind of the skirt construction that they used was a sort of a 3-panel thing. Well, it's really a 4-panel thing if you kind of look at it all the way around. If you look at it from the top, there'd be a panel here, and a panel here, and a panel here, and a panel here. And then there would be these kind of box pleats on the inside right there. But the thing that struck me, the thing that I found interesting about it was they do this little rectangle in the front, and then they just kind of did this little swoopy pizza slice thing in the back, and then there was this shadowy location there, and here's your waistband that goes around the girl's waist. And you have the legs are coming out of the skirt, obviously. But it's like if you had a medium blue skirt, then you'd have those panels like that. And then you'd have a kind of darker color with a hue shift toward purple. kind of go in there. And then up here at the top, you'd again have the kind of medium color. And then over here, you'd have your kind of light orange for the legs. And really, one of the things I'm looking for is kind of not so much cheat codes as the quick and simple methods of doing the things that I'm trying to do. And I mean, working from first principles, you could certainly think of the human body as a series of basic shapes. You know? You can think of it as basic shapes, and you can weld them together, and you can go, okay, here are all of the individual bits and pieces, and all of the stuff that fits together on it, and you know where all of the various muscles are, and all of the individual parts of the body, and you can understand where all of that is, and you could try to build all of that up, or you could just go, you know, it's a cylinder. You can sort of draw the profile of the leg like this, and then you could fake the knee with those two little lines like that. And on the back of the leg, it's the exact opposite. You curve them inward. So it's like from the side, you've got this kind of, here's your knee right here. Whereas from the front, you've got the two lines converging. And from the back, you've got the two lines going the opposite direction. Using a much larger brush than I should be. So they point up if you're looking at the back of the knee. And they point down if you're looking at the front of the knee. It's that simple. And you've got this kind of angle curve. So if you're looking at it, if you're looking at the leg from the front, you've got angle, curve, straight, straight. Whereas if you're looking at it from the side, if you look at it from around the, if you rotate around and you look at it from this side, the front comes down at an angle, the back comes out at a curve, and that's kind of your cheat code on that. Then from the back, from the opposite side, you got those two little lines that converge inward. And you've just kind of got that same basic thing. And then there's like there's a slope to like here's the leg right here, and here's the foot. Okay. And these go in opposite directions right there. There's this kind of, so like when you draw the foot, the inside is up higher than the outside. And in the same way, when you look down at the foot, your big toe sits right in front of the knee, and the rest of the foot comes out to the side. There's just all of these little things, like, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, or what even the fuck I'm doing today. This is, it's just me rambling and talking about stuff. So, front of the leg, there's your knee. Back of the leg, there's your calf coming up. There's a sort of insertion. You've got two muscles that come up along here, the hamstring. And here is the, here's the insertion point of the soleus and the gastrocnemius. I don't know why I'm talking about this. Now, if we look at that from the other side, like so, if we're looking at it from the inside, the ankle is up higher. Feet are something that I've been thinking about here and there. And you can kind of divide them up in various ways. Feet are important. The bottom of the feet, you have this part of the foot is what actually sits on the ground, and this part kind of rises up above the ground. And you've got this big toe right here, and the rest of the toes kind of bunch up. And when you look at them from the side, okay, these toes here are kind of curled under, and this one here is just kind of straight forward and out. So you look at it from the top, you get this kind of, here's an actual toe, and then these are kind of knuckled under and squared off. They kind of do this thing. You got your toenail there. And then obviously you got the other side. Fairly simple process. Really, there's the same kind of thing you have with hands. It's just that, like, you've got the big meaty part here that the thumb comes off of, and then you've got this kind of squared off bit here, which is kind of like this piece, and then here are like all of your individual fingers. I kind of squash this in, but you've kind of got this rhomboid shape there. And then you got this thing here. And this right here that fold right there on your hand, right here, that is immediately on the other side of your knuckles. Your knuckles aren't on the other side of these, they're on the other side of this. So if you take this hand, let's draw a new hand here. So if you take and you draw a new hand, there's your forefinger, and there's your middle finger, and there's your ring finger, and there's your little finger. Now, when you look at the back of the hand, here, these fingers still have the same lengths. But you'll see that they come down farther because these are your knuckles here. They line up across there, not across here. So that takes a lot of effort to get right, because what happens here, there's a little webbing in between the fingers. That goes in between the fingers and you can see it there, but there's this kind of divot there. I don't know if any of this is useful or worthwhile, or like, why even bother sometimes. I'm not having a good day, and I'm not feeling very good. I'm kind of frustrated, and there's no good reason for it. You know, it's just nothing has been going wrong. I haven't been trying anything and failing to get it done. I'm just having one of those days, you know? And when you're having one of those days, it's important to get in and do stuff anyway. And just like think about the stuff that you actually know. Think about... And you just kind of remind yourself that, yeah, you know, you have been getting shit done. And the shit you've been getting done is actually worth getting done. Except it's not actually done in any meaningful sense of the word. It's not like I've completed anything. I've done a bunch of videos on hair. And it's just like, it's all left my brain. I don't even consciously think of it anymore. I don't think of like how to make hair, and I don't make hair that looks good. And I don't know what happened. It's just like, it's like a skill regression thing, and it's very frustrating. And I think it's because I started concentrating on other stuff, and I went, oh, I've got hair I don't need to worry about. But you need to keep doing stuff. And I didn't. And I knew I needed to keep doing stuff, and I knew I should have kept doing it, and I didn't do it. My eyes are bothering me today. I haven't drunk enough water. This water bottle's hinge is constantly coming out. So I have to keep pushing it in and pushing it in. Okay, so anyway, like, we all have days like this. We all have times like this. The important thing is to show up and to do stuff and to get stuff done and to I've just not been having a good week. I have not been having a good week. Nobody gives a shit about your problems until they're solved. Because if you tell somebody about your problems and your problems aren't solved, they feel like they should help you with their problems. They either feel like you're asking them to help, or they feel obligated to help because they like you and they're your friend. They want to help. And the problem is, they don't know enough about the problem to help. So all the advice they're going to give you is going to be simple, basic advice. They're going to go, oh, you have this problem? Well, here's the solution. Yeah, see, if it was that easy, I would have just done that. I wouldn't have the problem. And then they get upset. They get angry because they go, hey, if this is your problem, then here's your solution. You go, I already tried that, and you explain why that solution doesn't work. And then they give you another quick, simple, easy solution. And they go, here's the next quick, simple, easy solution. You go, well, that didn't work because of these reasons. And they give you like 4 or 5 different solutions. And you go, well, I have already tried all of those, and they didn't work. And then they get mad at you because you didn't ask them for help. You didn't give them enough information to help. They tried to help anyway, and their efforts to help haven't been going well because they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And now they're mad at you, and they're like, well, you just don't want a solution to this. No, I want a solution. I just don't want a fucking stupid solution like the solutions you've been coming up with. And I'm upset about the principle. I'm upset about the principle of the thing, not about like a specific thing. I don't have a problem. Well, I have a problem, but the problem is not something that can be solved. I am the problem. I am the fucking problem. It's like, why am I a problem? I don't know. I'm just fucking stupid, I guess. Well, stop being a problem. Gee, I didn't think of that. Fuck off. I'm having an I don't want to problem. Oh, yes, I know what to do, but I don't want to. I am, however, going to show up and do my fucking stream.
Hate to say this, but I'm here.
And it's just, it's really fucking annoying. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing today. I don't even have a clue what I'm supposed to be doing, or what I'm trying to be doing, or what I want to be doing. I'm just... I wish I could keep talking about leg anatomy or some such shit. I don't care about legs and feet and all that bullshit. And of course, these are supposed to be about the same length, so all of that is like way too long. Well, it can be a little long. It circles around there. One of the things about human posture is the human posture tends to pull the stomach muscles taut. And it pulls the stomach muscles taut for the because you're leaning back. Your shoulders sit farther back than your hips. You got your hips are like right here. and your shoulders are like back here. So your arms don't hang straight down by your sides. They hang kind of behind everything. But because your bicep tends to be somewhat tight, it pulls the hand forward, and then your hand kind of hangs right around here. So it feels like this is straight down, but it's not straight down. It's down and then forward because you're leaning back somewhat. Which is partially because of the chest muscle. And if you're female, the mammary is because you've got your spine here, and then you've got your rib cage, and your rib cage is basically empty because your lungs are like balloons. They're full of air. There's nothing in them. They weigh like next to nothing. So all of the muscle on your chest is way out here, and because there's like nothing behind it, there's more of a lever, and it needs to rotate back. I don't know that any of this is making any sense. It's been a rough week. It's been a really rough week. Nothing happened. Nothing's like going on. Just a lot of work that needed to be done in the yard, and couldn't concentrate on much of anything. There's a bunch of stuff that I want to work on. I'm not working on. Like, part of it is I want to sort of think about shapes in a sculpting context, where I like establish the silhouette. So if I go, I'm going to do a face here. I have to establish the silhouette of the face first, silhouette of the head, and then kind of carve away at it to produce sort of the profile that I'm looking for. And then what I want to do is kind of operate on a shading basis and go, okay, that's going to be kind of in shadow, and that's going to be in shadow because we've got a nose over there, and we've got the side of the face here. Here's the side of the eye and the side of the head, and then you'd have your highlight, and you'd go, okay, so we've got light over here. You've got light in this area, and light's going to light up the cheekbone there, and it's going to light up here because it kind of spills over. And then here we've got this sort of thing going on, and I feel like there's something to this process, but I don't feel like I'm particularly good enough at it to get any meaningful results. I just sort of feel like I don't know, I feel like that like, particularly if you zoom out, it kind of sort of looks like something, but I'm not sure how useful it is. I'm not sure how useful any of this stuff is. I'm just kind of floundering, and I don't know how to. I don't know how to take this where I'm trying to go, or establish the kind of things I'm trying to establish, and it's because I don't have the fundamentals, and I don't have a work process, and I haven't done like outrageous amounts of study on this stuff. I don't have the luxury of being at art school and being able to spend all day, every day working on this stuff. And on the occasions that I could spend all day, every day working, another thing that's really useful in art school is the direction. Because you get these assignments, and you think the assignments are stupid, and you think that there's no point to it, but you have somebody that's telling you, hey, you have to do this thing by the end of the week, and then you have to do it, whether you want to or not, because if you don't, then you don't get a good grade, and if you don't get a good grade, you don't get to stay in school, and everybody's going to think you're a loser. And that's really useful, and I kind of don't have that. And usually I find it reasonably simple to give myself assignments like that. And that's important, to be able to give yourself assignments and self-pace and self-direct and that sort of thing. But the other missing link when you're like at a school, when you're actually studying the subject, is the person giving you the assignment knows more than you do and knows that this assignment is going to teach you something meaningful. I don't know that. I got no fucking clue what the right next thing to study is. I don't even know that studying is the right next thing to do. And I do this every so often. I flounder, and I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't know where I'm going, and I don't know what it is that I'm supposed to be accomplishing. But I know I'm not accomplishing it. But let's just press forward on that. And go, okay. It's like we know, for example, what a mandible looks like, what a jawbone looks like, and how that would fit together in perspective. And that gives us a silhouette there, and we know that the maxilla sits on top of that. And then on top of the maxilla, we get the cheekbones there. And then there's the eye sockets, the zygomatic arch. There's the bridge of the nose. There's the eyebrow. There's the brow ridge. Top of the skull. The skull needs to come farther back than most people think it does. And then you get something like this, which is a basic sort of outline of a human head, just kind of roughed out. And then you can just come in here and go, okay, there's going to be a shadow there. Going to be a shadow on top of the brow ridge, and there's going to be a shadow under the brow ridge. There's going to be a shadow inside the side of the nose there. You're going to have, there's the shadow inside of the eye sockets. Shadow at the side of the face here. And then you can highlight. Here we're going to have light coming in from the side. We've got the light on there. Got the light on the side there. Everything I do looks like crap. I'm just generally dissatisfied with everything. I'm having an emotionally difficult time for no good reason. And, I don't know, man. Shit happens. It happens and you gotta deal with it. I don't know that I'm dealing with it well, but I am fucking dealing with it. Let's go larger scale. You got your clavicles that sit in the front there. You got your breastbone here. You know, there's something that I've been thinking about lately. The structure of the neck. You got your clavicle that sits like right here, okay? And then here's the pit of the neck. And the pit of the neck is defined by the intersection of two muscles called the sternocleidomastoideus. One of them kind of connects in the middle there, and one of them connects over here at the end. And those come up. And here is the voice box, right in here. And the chin is always right above the voice box. If the head turns, and you got the chin, say, over here, then the voice box pulls to sit underneath of it. That trachea is always going to move to sit underneath the chin. And your shoulder's not going to move and your clavicle's not going to move, but that pit of the neck is going to stay right where it is, and the trachea is going to follow. It's going to swivel and move wherever it needs to go. And paradoxically, what pulls and stiffens and straightens to make this happen is the muscle over here, but it's this muscle here that stands out. So when the face turns this direction, this muscle is pulling, but this muscle is the one that stands out because it's being pulled over to the side right there. I've been kind of thinking about that a fair amount. Just like the chest muscle, you got your breastbone here, okay? And you got your clavicle is up here. Connects up here to this a little bit, right there. And the chest muscle connects here on the top half of this, and here on the inner half of this. And then it comes out and it connects to the arm bone. But the interesting thing is that it kind of twists. It does this twist thing. This part of the chest muscle, the upper chest muscle, connects there, and the lower chest muscle connects there. So what you've actually got is the upper chest muscle here, the lower chest muscle here, and those are connected to the arm. And then we've talked in the past about how the breast proceeds from underneath the arm, and it also twists. It also comes up and around, and it twists. Because you've got this whole kind of, you have this thing that goes on, it hangs down there, and then it lifts up and it does this twisty thing. Because if you just let it hang, the front of it would be hanging against the side of the body, and this is on the inside. So it comes up like that, and I don't know if you can see any of that because the inset's too small, and I don't really care Not having a good day. Just kind of thinking through stuff. This is one of those. This is one of those watch the struggle streams where I'm struggling and you get to see that I'm struggling. So if you've ever struggled, then you know you're not alone. You're not the only person that's had to struggle. And you're probably a better artist than I am, so. Back here's your shoulder blade, and then the spine of the shoulder blade reaches up and around, grabs onto that. You look at it from the top, you got your shoulder blade here, and then you got this spine that comes out, and there's the ball of the shoulder socket. And here's this kind of S curve of the clavicle, and then your body's like in between there. And kind of think of the top of the body as being a diamond. There's the back, there's the shoulder blade, there's your chest, and here's the arm. There's kind of a tunnel that runs down through the middle. That's the spinal cord. And that's the throat. And then you've got a muscle there and a muscle there, and you've got a muscle there and a muscle there. And that's kind of how that's structured. And then in here, it's all blood vessels mostly. What the fuck am I doing? I don't know that tonight's stream has been of any use to anybody at all, but we are at almost 45 minutes, so at least I showed the fuck up. That's my job, so I did my job, and I don't know, I'm not going to sit here and be all morose and depressed and no fun, so do a little YouTube dance, like, comment, subscribe, all that happy horse shit, and okay, bye.